Ride the beat when you rock the mic. Put your foot on the gas and eat a red light. Ride the beat when you rock the mic.
What's up, freedom fans and anti-Karen crusaders? Welcome back to Are You Smarter Than a Libertarian, the only show where we ask hard-hitting questions like, why does the state want to be our kid's third parent? And is your school board secretly jealous of your kitchen table? Let's find out. Today's hot mess comes courtesy of our glorious overlords in the great state of Illinois. That's right, the land of deep dish pizza, deep corruption, and now deeply creepy homeschool laws. So buckle up, folks. We're diving into the Illinois Homeschool Act, or as I like to call Operation State Uber Alice. Now, what would this look like? Hi there, just a friendly neighborhood truant officer. I noticed your kid wasn't in our violence-prone, test-score-failing, soul-sucking institution today. Mind if I come in and inspect your bookshelf? Also, do you have a portfolio detailing how little Timmy learned fractions this week? And what's your Wi-Fi password? No, Illinois isn't parodying Orwell. They're just casually floating a new law that would require every homeschooling parent to file a Declaration of Independence from public education. But also, please report back to King George about what your kid learned. That's right. This bill wants you to send personal information and educational plans to your local school district. You know, the same district you escaped because they thought gender unicorns were a substitute for phonics. It's like running from a burning building only to have the fire marshal follow you home and say, hey, could you keep the door unlocked in case I need to check if you're still alive in there? Government schools now with less literacy. Now, I'm all about results, so let's talk about some results. Government schools are basically Blockbuster Video with a chalkboard. They're obsolete, mismanaged, and keep telling you everything is fine while the roof is on fire, and not like that really popular song from the early 2000s. For decades, test scores have been tanking, schools are more violent than UFC prelims, and now, thanks to COVID, parents discovered something even more horrifying. Their kids couldn't read. Not like the reading Shakespeare is hard, I mean the can't sound out cat levels of literacy. But wait, the schools reassured parents with glowing assessments like, your child is at grade level, which turns out to mean equally illiterate as their classmates. Enter Emily Hansford documentary, Sold a Story, which basically exposes that the entire reading curriculum in public schools was like trusting TikTok to teach you nuclear physics. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that if I were you. So now the same government that can't teach reading, can't prevent bullying, and can't protect your kid from actual threats wants to evaluate homeschoolers. That's like getting cooking tips from a guy who just burnt water, and we all know that one person who does that. Now let's get into the crux of the argument. Why the state hates homeschooling. You know what scares the state more than a libertarian with a podcast? That does scare them. A self-sufficient family. Homeschooling is the ultimate act of peaceful rebellion that everyone says is peaceful, and it is. It says, no thanks, I'll teach my kid to read, do math, and maybe not become a nihilist with a TikTok account. Wait, was that about me? Anyway. But this scares the bureaucratic beehive. And why, you might ask? Because homeschooling reinforces a truth they can't stand. The family came first. Before governments, before departments of education, before diversity, equity, inclusion became a state religion, families raised and educated their kids. That kind of independence drives the state nuts because they want you busy working, compliant, and grateful the state raises your kid while you chase a promotion to buy more crap you don't need. You're not a parent to them. You're a potential ward, a data point in your kids, little future taxpayers who better get their minds right. As Arun McIntyre said in The Total State, human identity isn't created by pure freedom, but through the bonds and limits of real community, like family. And guess what homeschooling is built around? Community, faith, whether you're Jewish, Christian, Muslim, doesn't matter. Shared values. Basically, everything the state sees as competition. And to touch a little bit on faith, what do you think the state is? The state is not a benevolent God. The state is a jealous God. Here's the real threat. The state wants your kids. Not in a cartoony villain way, though honestly, they're not far off anymore, but in a subtler, more bureaucratic way. Slow creep. If they can regulate homeschooling, they can domesticate it, clip its wings, force it to become a copy of the very system it was created to escape. It's like the frog in a pot of boiling water. Turn it up slowly and it doesn't even realize it's boiling when it's too late. They want to make homeschooling so inconvenient, so monitored, and so intrusive that families give up. Oh, well, I guess I'll send little Timmy back to the local indoctrination station. That's the play. That's the move. Slow, creeping, control. Revolutions don't happen overnight. State control doesn't happen overnight. It's very slow, very meticulous. Remember, a system is what it does, and what this system does is strip parents of their authority, isolate children from their values, and replace them with compliance and confusion. Now, here's the libertarian response. Don't comply, don't apologize, homeschool hard. Here's your libertarian public service announcement. If you homeschool, double down, connect with other families, get organized, get loud, share resources, share results, push back at your local school board like your kid's mind depends on it. Because guess what? They do. And to anyone in Illinois watching this, do not comply, do not cooperate, and definitely don't open your door to the state's clipboard-carrying stormtroopers. They might just shoot you, but they're a bad shot. You're not doing anything wrong by raising your own kid. You're doing what should be normal. That's it for today's episode of Are You Smarter Than a Libertarian? Mandate. Subscribe so big tech can shadow ban us with style. And leave a comment telling us your favorite way to dodge a truant officer. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share. New videos drop every day. Until next time.